Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. I am going to talk to you about Steve Jobs. I know you all know him very well, but there can be some facts that you didn't know about him. So today my topic is 20 facts about Steve Jobs you didn't know about. Steve Jobs once said that great things in business are never done by one person, they are done by a team of people. Steve Jobs was an American inventor who played the main role in the success of Apple computer. His invention spread a revolution all over the world, not only in the technology sector but also the individual of person. The man loved to hide. Here are some information about him that you maybe don't know. You will be surprised to know the informations. Here are 20 facts about Steve Jobs you didn't know about. Number 1. Studied calligraphy. After dropping out from the Reed College, he normally lost the opportunity to take the normal classes. Then he decided to learn the calligraphy about serif and sans serif typefaces. He used the scale, the beautiful typography in his first computer after 10 years of learning. Number 2. Became a Buddhist. Buddhism was a significant influence on Steve Jobs' life. When he went to India to meet named Karoli Baba, but the absence of the Hindu Baba, he met the Buddhist monk and heavily influenced by the religion. Number 3. Didn't give to charity. When Steve Jobs was alive, he was occasionally criticized for not being charitable like competitor Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Steve never focused his view on charity clear, and it is certainly undeniable that he made an impression on the world. Number 4. Dropped out of college. In early life, Steve Jobs was dropped out from the Reed College. Later in the speech of Stanford, Jobs took it clear why he dropped out of the college. Because of too much tuition fees that are unbearable to his parents, that's why he dropped out himself from the college. Number 5. Had a fling with Joan Boaz. Joan Boaz was an American singer and songwriter as well as folk musician who dated Steve Jobs during the early 1980s. It was one of the most secret information about Steve Jobs' early life. Number 6. Half-Syrian. Steve Jobs was the adopted son of Paul Jobs and Clara Hagopian. His biological father was Abdul Fattah Zandali, a Syrian citizen, so he was also a citizen of Half-Syrian by birth. Number 7. Laurene Powell Jobs. Laurene Powell Jobs was the wife of Steve Jobs. They married in 1991. Laurene is the American businesswoman, executive, and the founder of Emerson Collective. She was appointed by President Obama to be a member of White House Council for Community Solutions for her active involvement in the nonprofit community. Number 8. Legal dispute with Apple Corporation. A trademark dispute between Apple Corporation by the Beatles and the technology manufacturer Apple Incorporation. The High Court of Justice gave the verdict in favor of Apple Computer in 2006, but they could not be announced until February 2007. Number 9. Lied to Wozniak. Steve Wozniak was an American programmer and co-founder of Apple Computer with Steve Jobs. Once working on Atari game Breakout, Steve told Wozniak that he received only $700 though Apple gave him $5,000. Number 10. Loved the Beatles. Beatles were an English rock band which was most favorite to Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs once invited the Beatles to join the iTunes Music Store. The members of the Beatles were George Harrison, Ringo Starr, John Lennon, Paul McCartney. Number 11. Offered an HP internship in 8th grade. Steve Jobs has a history with HP. As a kid, Steve Jobs would attend a local lecture put on by Hewlett-Packard. Within a few lectures, Steve approached William Hewlett because he needed computer parts for a project. By impressed to the project, he offered him an internship on the spot. Number 12. Pescatarian. Steve Jobs had a strange eating habit. He did not eat any meat. He was a pescatarian as well as he had some unconventional health habits. Number 13. Produced Toy Story. By signing with Disney, he laid the spark that led to movies like Finding Nemo, The Wall-E, The Incredibles, etc. He dominated the animation industry, but Toy Story was a personal effort as he was executive producer. Number 14. Saved Pixar. Pixar is an American animation studio. The Pixar chief financial officer received a call from Steve Jobs and get an offer from him. Steve Jobs signed with Pixar to help financially support and saved it. Number 15. Took a $1 salary. After 12 years' absence in 1997, when Steve Jobs returned to the Apple as CEO, the company was really struggling. That's why he took $1 salary from the company since 1997 to 2011 and others' money back into the company for investing in future. Number 16. Used LSD. Steve Jobs used LSD for indulging. It was hardly a piece of secret information about Steve Jobs, if though he was announced boldly that LSD was one of the 2 or 3 most important things in his life. Number 17. Used to be homeless. The present Steve Jobs, whom we know, was not the same situation as the present. Once he said that he slept on the floor in his friend's room, he would walk 7 miles across in Sunday to get 1 good meal a week. Number 18. Was a hippie. Steve Jobs traveled in India in early life to meet with Hindu guru, but unfortunately he met Buddhist monk. After returning from India, he changed his lifestyle. That's why many people called him a hippie. If though it was no proper information, it was one of the secrets of his life. Number 19. Was adopted. The biological parents of Steve Jobs were Joan Boaz, an American, and Abdul Fattah Zandali, a Syrian. Because of some internal matters of the marriage of his parents, Steve Jobs was adopted by Paul Jobs and Clara. And number 20. Went to India to find spiritual enlightenment. Steve Jobs traveled to India to visit a Hindu guru named Karoli Baba in 1974 with his roommate. After reaching there, they invented that the Hindu guru was no more. He had passed away beginning of the year. He was returned after 7 months of his arrival, putting on the traditional Indian clothes.